now the Peace Builders, you found this Peace Builders camp online. And where was it located?
In Georgia, somewhere.
Somewhere in Georgia, North Georgia maybe? There's a lot of good camps up in North Georgia.
It's down, I think.
Oh, down South Georgia? Okay, Georgia.
Yeah,
It's Americus, Georgia.
Americus.
Georgia.
Oh, I know where Americus. Oh, yeah,
It's
Americus.
very, very pretty.
Very pretty area. So now, how old were you when you found Peace Builders?
I think I was 10.
So you went to Peace, and what was your platform, and what were you wanting to do?
So, my platform was LGBTQ youth. So there's a lot of, well, not a lot, but there's a few places like Free to Be, where, older teenagers can go to talk about their problems and things like that around being LGBTQ or having friends like that. But the problem with a lot of those places is, even though they're great,
we have dogs barking everywhere. I'm sorry, that's just craziness.
The age limit is 14.
Okay, so 14 and up.
Yeah, 14.
Okay, so no one younger. Okay. Silly.
So there was a lot of people like me that needed a, area like that, and that wasn't possible. So I actually talked to some of the people that worked with Free to Be, and we talked about it a lot, especially Tom Willett. And unfortunately, while we were talking about it, Tom Willett passed away.
Yes. Okay.
And that was really sad for us. We were very good friends with Tom Willett, but we were talking about it, and they brought up a lot of problems with it. Obviously, there's the problem with parents and everything like that, because a lot of the kids that go to those places, they don't want their parents to find out, and for an age that young, they need like a waiver,
right? And they have to waiver, and they can't be open.
Yeah, so that's really hard to kind of work around, but we're still kind of talking about it.
So did you get to go to the camp?
Oh yes.
So even at your age, you got to go.
Yeah, it took a little bit of effort to go to the camp because
of your age and getting your parents involved and all.
Oh, they were fine with me going to camp. The problem was the money.
Oh.
Well, you see, my parents are school teachers.
Okay, so y'all had to do fundraisers or things like that?
What happened was, I showed the website to my mom, and she was like, "Oh, cool. Unfortunately, it costs money."
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. And camps, sleepaway camps, very expensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what happened was, I was like, how about I start a business? And I was just really.
Here we go. This is how. Okay, see, I told you there was going to be this one place that we just segued right. So is this where the business started?
Yes.
Tell everybody what your business is called.
Peaceful Pastries and Sweets.
Peaceful Pastries and Sweets. Yes, on Facebook, and we is always so good about putting up your Facebook page so people can go to that. And I've seen some of your work. Now, when you thought about starting this business, were you already you already were baking, because your mom said that you were a kid who liked purple, played the violin, and you liked to bake.
Yeah, I baked a little bit. I baked the little chocolate chip cookies and the little Betty Crocker cupcakes with the spread on icing and stuff like that. But
so now you actually is everything you make from scratch?
Yes.
And you actually decorate them beautifully. Like, now, I was telling your mom, I've only seen any of those baking shows, like with the cake shows, like maybe once or twice, because I was thinking at my mother-in-law's, and I just got sucked into one because I couldn't believe the art behind it. But yours are very artistic as well. Did you know when you started? Did they? Well, I suppose they taste good. They taste delicious, and they're also beautiful. So did you know when you started this that you had this artistic bent, that you could? Well, I knew that you said you knew you were artistic, but that you could transfer it to baking and to. I mean, because that's hard to deal with, isn't it?
At first, it was kind of mainly like chocolate chip and snickerdoodle and stuff, and that only lasted.
I would have loved that today too.
That only lasted like
I would have
2
loved that
weeks.
today too.
Yeah, that only lasted like 2 weeks, and I still do chocolate chip and sticker.
Apparently, you didn't do it for me, but that's
But
okay.
I'm sorry. I
You know I'm gonna,
some.
you know I'm
I
gonna
should
give
have
you
brought
grief about. I know my stomach's sitting here
Yeah.
growling.
I was.
I can have cookies.
We were at a wedding yesterday, and I
Okay.
completely forgot about that too.
You were just, you were just busy. I'm giving you
Yeah.
a hard time. So you started off with those, and then when did you decide you could do all that beautiful, the roses and the, what do you call that when it's just when it's just, see, I don't even know, when it's smooth, the smooth kind.
Fondant.
Yeah, fondant. I knew it had a word, fondant. Fondant, that's right.
Yeah, I
It's
love
the
fondant.
it's
It
beautiful.
tastes so good.
And it's very just beautiful, and you do but you're extremely artistic with your. So how long did it take you to get to that point that you were really good at it?
So I started doing the iced cookies.
Oh,
Okay.
right. That's what started.
Yeah, so I started doing the iced cookies, and that's when it really blew up. Okay, so I was doing the iced cookies, and if you scroll all the way back down my Facebook,
I will.
and if you look for
I'm
them,
going to look at all of it.
it started out a little rough.
A little rough. Well,
So,
it takes time.
it was a single color, and all of the colors were, running off the cookie, but a lot of people liked it because it tasted really good.
That's right.
And it was relatively cheap
Okay.
compared to some other
Some of the
bakers because,
bakeries.
they have things to worry about.
No, they have a lot more
their
overhead.
building
Right,
and
overhead. Mhm.
things like that. I'm just a little kid baking it in my
I'm
house.
just a little kid baking cookies, yeah.
So I kept a little jar on our kitchen counter with all of the money that I was getting it, and I was saving up for Peace Builders Camp. And while we were doing this, I had gotten a lot of orders from Mom's Village at first, and then it's crazy because right now we haven't really advertised it other than Facebook, and it's just all word of mouth. We've had orders from Oregon all the way down to Florida.
So you ship as well.
Yeah, right now.
Wow. So do you ship these? I mean, so do y'all have like a little an assembly line, or how you get this order and make sure it gets packed up so they're not broken?
Well,
or
I usually do most of it. It's a family business now.
it's a family business now. I suppose it would be. Okay.
So,
but you are the president, I take it. Yeah, of course you are. Of course you
So,
are.
my little brothers, my youngest brother, Ben, the 10-year-old, he just turned 10. Well, we had his 10th birthday party. He turns 10 on December 24th.
Did you make him a nice cake?
Yeah,
Of course you
made him a black coal cake. He loves space, but
Oh, a black whole cake. Oh, I think I did
Black
see
whole,
that.
yeah.
Okay. A black whole cake. Okay.
well, he is doing all this. I'm teaching him how to do all the snickerdoodles and the chocolate chip cookies. So he does all.
You
of that.
already have like a sous chef or something. A little what I don't know what
does
it's
all
called
of
in the
those.
pastry
So
world.
like whenever anybody
like in the-
orders the chocolate chip,
That's
they're
his-
getting that's his thing.
That's his thing.
So he does it all by himself.
So do y'all
now.
bake like every day at your house? Do y'all have a
Pretty
baking?
much.
Do y'all have a baking day, or y'all just bake every day? You just
We usually try to bake only once every 2 days. So
Okay,
we'll get
so you-
like 3 or 4 orders.
do you
done
eat
in
like
one
any of the
day.
profits? To like
Well, I'm very picky and I'm a perfectionist.
so if they mess up,
I'll make like at least an extra dozen or two.
okay.
So
So that way you
anyone
can choose which one
that
are the best.
any cookie that is tilted or is a little tiny bit burned or has a hole in it, or if the icing was a little bit messed up, I'll put it in my reject pile.
You have a reject pile.
And it will taste the same and everything, but
But that's because you are a.
I'll give it to the students or we can
You
eat
are
it.
also quality control.
Yeah, so that's how that works.
So do you make your own like icing, and did you get like an old recipe, or did you find some, or did you put some together and just kind of play with it now?
I
mean, you don't have to tell your secrets.
Yes.
We don't want anybody to know your secrets.
I started baking it and I do everything on my own. It's it's crazy.
and it's sort of like chemistry as well, right?
Now that it's a family business, Ben does his thing, and then my younger brother, not the smallest, he's 11 years old, and he does meringue puffs. And there's these little white or brown for chocolate, little puffs of heaven
Puffs of heaven. I love that.
They taste so good. You know the marshmallows, the
Yes.
Lucky Charms?
Yes.
They taste
Oh,
kind of
that's
like
what
that.
they taste like. Okay.
Except for they're like
Actually, I
crunchy
really
and
don't
airy
know. I'm going to say
inside.
that I do, but I don't. But I've never had Lucky
Oh, they're
Charms.
so good.
Are they good? Should I
They're
have them?
so good.
Should I go buy some? Okay, I bought them for my kids before, but I'm kind of a weirdo about that. Maybe I'll go get some.
They're so
Okay.
good. But
Maybe I'll just try some of his. Maybe I'll just
yeah,
have to order
his
some
are
of his.
really good. But even they have their own things.
So everybody's kind of got their own gig going
And
within
then mom and dad even
What do they
play
make?
part in the business now. Mom is kind of my secretary a little bit. She'll help me post to Facebook.
I bet she is. I bet she
And-
is. She's a good one too.
Yes, and my dad helps me make some of the icing when we get really big orders. Like one week I had 21 dozen cookies due out.
That is amazing. 21 dozen. And you said that y'all even shipped to, you said Oregon, y'all shipped to all over.
Florida, New York, California, all over the place.
And so when they get them, y'all have them like packaged really well so they don't
yeah,
break and all
yeah.
that.
It was rough to figure out how to package them, but we finally
But
have
y'all,
a good
see,
system.
because you're quality control and you're a perfectionist. So now you make cakes as well.
I do make.
Who does the? Are you the cake guy? Are you
I'm-
the cake boss?
Yeah. When we get an order for cakes, I'll rarely let dad or mom help with it because they're still kind of learning a little.
They're still kind of learning.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't tell you that I bought a. I remember here was my biggest decision at the grocery store the other day: Duncan Hines or Betty Crocker. I wonder which is better. See, I don't know the better of the two.
Oh, that's a hard one.
That is a hard one.
I like both of them. I usually, for the cake boxes, I think we even did bins in a cake box because it's just easier that way. And it honestly tastes about the same, but I use my own little recipe for
You have your own little
for
recipe
my
though
for my
yours.
cakes, yeah.
So now you had a little bit of a celebrity moment with some of your cookies. Can you tell us about that? I wish we had one of these, but you will have these on your Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I should have. But I know we've all been very busy, and of course you probably have Christmas orders coming up. And I'm going to order from you. I'm excited. Now, would you ship to Decatur, or would I need to come get them, or could you mail them? Or oh, I'm sorry, baby.
Well, yeah, you can come.
You can come get them. Is that what you
come and
normally do?
pick
People
them up.
do people usually come get them?
That's usually what happens, or you can get them packaged and shipped.
Okay, because you can even ship from up there. Okay,
Yeah.
so tell me about your celebrity moment as my dog is barking at everybody outside. Okay, this is like the craziest, but this is a real conversation on my sofa. This is
Yeah.
what his life is about. Tell me about your celebrity moment.
It was kind of crazy because I started baking the cookies, and after about a year of baking, one of Bernie Sanders.
Sanders. Well, it was during all the
election
the
stuff.
campaign and
Oh,
the
it was
election.
Crazy.
So you
But I had fallen in love with Bernie Sanders.
so you loved Bernie. So for politically, you were like, this was your guy. So you're going to make these fun Bernie bites, and you also, because you're a very smart young man, saw a business opportunity. You know, even though it's someone you were, doing it as a sort of affection or adoration, like, oh, I really like this guy, so I'm going to make these Bernie bites, which you said were little like shortbread.
So yeah, all of my
Describe
iced
them.
cookies are shortbread.
Shortbread. I told you my favorite. I'm just going to keep saying
Because
that too.
the sugar, they're just too sweet with the sweet icing.
I agree
think.
with you. That's why I like shortbread.
So
okay.
I get the shortbread, and then I use sugar icing. It's
Okay.
like the main two ingredients in it are sugar and water. It's crazy. It's like, but.
And then you did. So you had the.
I had the round shortbread cookie, and then I had blue icing, and then I had little glasses.
Little glasses.
And then I had the gray hair. And
You had like messy, crazy gray hair, right?
like, and it didn't have any eyes or mouth, but you could very
You could tell what it
easily
was.
tell it was
So
Bernie.
people started ordering your Bernie bites.
Yes,
Is that correct?
Yes, and it quickly
Sort of went
sped up.
viral around here, right?
Yeah, a
In
little bit.
Okay.
And one of Bernie's campaign managers saw it.
Here down in North Alabama.
Yeah, it was when Bernie Sanders was going to come down to Birmingham.
Okay.
And they were like, oh, I bet Bernie Sanders would, like to see these and everything. So it was really neat because I got to bake him cookies.
His own set of Bernie bites.
Yeah.
You got to go to Birmingham?
Yeah, I got to, first of all, sit in the VIP seating and everything. And then...
Did y'all sit there and eat cookies?
No, not then, but they actually said to come backstage and watch him do everything like from the stage.
Oh, so you got to do that?
It was crazy awesome, and we got to meet his family,
and you got to
I
talk
got
to him quite a bit.
It was
Was he quite? I'm sure he was quite impressed. And he said you were an old soul, didn't he?
a little bit, yeah.
A little bit. A little bit. You're an old soul.
He's really cool, and his
He's cool.
accent is way cooler.
That Vermont, right? Vermont
Yeah,
accent. I had to
Vermont.
think about that a minute. So you have your business now is it taking off to the point where y'all might have to get a bigger?
Oh,
Or
I
you-
hope not, because right now I have the cottage license.
Oh,
and,
so you're doing the cottage. That's what I was going to ask you. So you do have your cottage license, which is
yeah.
important.
The problem with that is once I get to a certain point of sales, once I
Then
get to
you
a
have
certain,
to move up. Okay.
then I have to have my own separate building and kitchen.
and your own kitchen,
and
commercial.
everything has to be completely separate.
Wow.
And that's going to cost a lot.
That's going to be a lot. So, but
So
you know,
I'm
if
hoping I don't get to that point per year. So
you want to just, but would you like to eventually do that?
maybe. I think right now
You're
my
happy with the
goal
way
is-
things are right now.
I'm happy with what I am right now, and I think later on, when I become an adult and start going to college and everything, I think I want to become a teacher.
So
elementary
like
school teacher.
mom and dad teach
Music lessons.
music lessons,
And then
but
my dad is actually teaching middle school right now.
so he's a middle school teacher.
Yeah,
Okay, in North Alabama, obviously.
he's actually in Decatur.
Oh, he's a middle school teacher in
Yeah.
Decatur. I'll have to meet him then. Okay.
Yeah.
And your mom
Yeah.
she teaches you all.
She
she's-
teaches us.
And she's
Yeah,
homeschools
she used
you
to
all.
teach public school.
She used to teach
also.
public school. So you are surrounded by a family of educators, and what do you want to teach? What level?
Ugh. Either like kindergarten to third.
Because I hear that you love children and animals.
I do.
That everybody.
I
And what about
love
old
little
people? I'm
babies.
kind of like this. Everybody, I love little children, old people, and animals. I'm kind of like that as well.
I love little babies.
Little babies.
I just can't resist.
The little babies do kind of frighten me because I'm always afraid they're going. Even my own, I was afraid they were going to break. But when they get to be about 1, I'm like, man, come on, we can have
It was kind of funny because one person was at our house and the baby was crying like crazy and they had to go do something real quick. So I held the baby and it immediately stopped crying.
So you that parental instinct where you want to have children one day and you want to get married and do all the things. But until then, you're going to be, it seems to be, like an advocate for LGBTQ youth.
Yes.
To know that if you are watching this and you have any of these feelings and perhaps where would you tell kids if they don't have a parent who or a home who would be what is the word I'm looking for? Receptive. I had to think about it a minute. To such news. And I'm kind of putting you on the spot. I mean, I wonder who do kids? I know that there are certain, or their websites or their resources that as a youth.
I'm sure there are plenty of websites. A lot of, from my experience and from our family's experience, what a lot of my mom's students did, a lot of my friends now, they went to mom and dad.
So find someone.
Yeah.
Now, once they do that, I know that I have been in that position as well, and I know simply because, what I always directed, kids who told me first is that, I know your parents love you. They may not understand this. And, it is very difficult when someone is still living in their parents' home. But that's why we do hope that, not only that parents see this and know that, first of all, it's not going away, is it?
No.
It's not going away.
No.
It's not a bad thing either, is it?
No.
And the best thing I think that, just even in my own personal experience, is love your child. What would you say? Love your child, accept your child?
Yes. You have to accept your child. I mean, it's your baby.
It's your baby. Yeah. That might be a really good stopping note. What do you think? Can you think of anything else?
Just make sure not to, call people out for being different.
Be kind to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think that's what is so difficult about all of this is when you do see so much anger and so much hate, that I hope that one day that we look back at this and that we're able to see this series and these conversations, and that we live in a world where people don't have to even experience such negative about something that is a natural thing.
I think it's slowly going in the right direction.
I think it is going in the right
is.
direction. And I hope it continues. I think there, just like with any type of matter, civil rights, human rights matter, I still think that there are people who, based on their own small mind, based on their own fear, based on not stepping out and understanding, I still think those people are there. But that's why that we need to keep moving forward and not be afraid to talk about it. And thank your mother for bringing you here and for being the kind of mom she is and the kind of dad you have. Because I know I love meeting you guys through Facebook, and that's been a lot. And we have a lot of the mutual friends, and that's why. But when your mom and I started communicating about this, and then when you all got here, it was just like, are you comfortable? And boy, you are, because why wouldn't you be comfortable? It's just like saying I sit here and I've got blue eyes and I'm comfortable, right? So your biggest advice to parents is love your child because that's your baby, right? Love your friends and be accepting and loving. And if you can't accept it, just don't be mean, right? Joshua, thank you so much. This has been such a fun afternoon. I look forward to watching you grow, watching you as you get older. Right now, I think you're way too busy being a student, being a musician, and being a cookie man, being a baker man. You got lots of people who are interested. I hear you've got pastry chefs in New York and that's where you ultimately want to go, right?
Either New York or California.
New York or California. They're both pretty awesome.
Somewhere like that.
Well, somewhere like that in a larger area.
A little
like
open-minded and a bigger city.
A bigger city. Well, I told you, New York's awesome sauce.
I do love Alabama, though.
Yeah, Alabama. We got lots of great people here.
We do.
Right? And that's the thing. You find your community, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here, and we'll make sure that we get peaceful pastries
and sweets.
Peaceful pastries and say that 10 times. Peaceful pastries and sweets on Facebook, where they can order from you. Your phone number will be on that Facebook page, and they can order from you all, and we will just stay in touch with you. And thank you for your time. But thank you for not bringing cookies. I mean, I'm still mad at you about that. Yeah, I'll order my own. How about that? Thank you, Joshua.